Revelation 9:4. I am in the King James Apocrypha version here, obviously using my Bible app. We have the likes of Minister Kimble present in the room, Nicholas Ewing present in the room, Mrs. Michelle Pounds present in the room, and Bill Amato present in the room. So you'll hear a number of different voices. You'll see the things that we talk about. And you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But hey, we out here. All right. So Revelation 9:4 reads as such. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God's in their forehead, right? Now, let's back up because what we know, most people looking at this right now, chances are you probably haven't even read Revelation. I'm just being honest. And it's not a knock against you or a knock against the church or your pastor or teacher. It's really just the true fact that most believers have not read Revelation. Most believers have not read the 66 books in its entirety. And it just comes to a point that if you're studying to show yourself approved, you should have read Revelation by now. If you're in the body of Christ and you've been a believer for a year or two by now, you should have at least read Revelation. Skip to the end and read the end. But that's where we are. So let me give you a little background on Revelation before we get any further. Revelation was wrote by John, the same John that is the Apostle John that wrote St. John. John 1, 2, and 3. And so this same John received a revelation from the Yahuah, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, while he was on the island of Patmos. And this starts off in Revelation 1, 2, and 3, where it tells you that you're blessed if you read it and blessed if you hear it. So be blessed by what you hear today. At this juncture in Revelation 9, this is where the fifth angel sounded. I'm at verse 1. And so let's put this in context of where we are too. Let me back up a couple chapters. Or I just want back another chapter. And so these are where the seals are being let loose, right? And then if you go back to Revelation 7, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to answer your question. And after these, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal, we're talking about these seals of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of God in their foreheads. Your answer's right there.
Mic drop.
Now, And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. Study over for that. Any questions about who they're talking about in Revelation 9:4 now?
No.
Okay, cool. So just a couple chapters back, there's the answer based on scripture to who are these people that we just asked about who were sealed in Revelation 9:4. All right, so we can move on now. Since we all have Jasher history, let's get back to Jasher. Now, my wife and I had just about finished up Jasher, but not finished up. We started about chapter 70, but we have done none of the beginning together. So we're just going to dive in right where we are together, and then you'll be catching up, and then you'll just probably have to make up like the first 20 chapters of Jasher, okay? But this will bring you into speed where we are in Jasher.
Where we leave off at?
22.
Jasher 22? Okay. So, Minister Kimble, you want to pick up in 22 and start there?
Sure. Jasher chapter 22, verse number 1. And Ishmael then rose up and took his woman and his children and his cattle and all belonging to him. And he journeyed from there, and he went to his father in the land of the Philistines. And Abraham related to Ishmael, his son, the transaction with the first woman that Ishmael took according to what she did. And Ishmael and his children dwelt with Abraham many days in that land. And Abraham dwelt in the land of the Philistines a long time. And the days increased and reached 26 years. And after that, Abraham with his servants and all belonging to him went from the land of the Philistines and removed to a great distance. And they came near Hebron, and they remained there. And the servants of Abraham dug wells of water. And Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt by the water. And the servants of Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard the report that Abraham's servants had dug wells of the water in the borders of the land. And they came and quarreled with the servants of Abraham, and they robbed them of the great well which they had dug. And Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard of this affair, and he with Phicol, the captain of his host, and 20 of his men came to Abraham. And Abimelech spoke to Abraham concerning his servants, and Abraham rebuked Abimelech concerning the well of which his servants had robbed him. And Abimelech said to Abraham, as Yahuah lives, who created the whole earth, I did not hear of the act which my servants did unto your servants until this day. And Abraham took 7 ewe lambs and gave them to Abimelech, saying, take these, I pray you, from my hands, that it may be a testimony for me that I dug this well. And Abimelech took the 7 ewe lambs which Abraham had given to him, for he had also given him cattle and herds in abundance. And Abimelech swore to Abraham concerning the well. Therefore he called that well Beersheba, for there they both swore concerning it. And they both cut a covenant in Beersheba. And Abimelech rose up with Phicol, the captain of his host, and all his men, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. And Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he was in that land a long time. And Abraham planted a large grove in Beersheba, and he made to it 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the earth, and he planted a vineyard in it, so that if a traveler came to Abraham, he entered any gate which was in his road. And he remained there and ate and drank and satisfied himself, then departed. For the house of Abraham was always open to the sons of men that passed and repassed, who came daily to eat and drink in the house of Abraham. And any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread that he might eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments he might choose, and give him silver and gold, and make known to him Yahuah, who had created him in the earth.
So stop right there. So he put something in their hands. He blessed them. He gave Yahuah some credit and glory. And here you go. You need to know how I'm able to do this, because it's Yahuah who blessed me. You need that connection. Powerful.
This did Abraham all his life.
Preacher.
And Abraham and his children and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he pitched his tent as far as Hebron. And Abraham's brother Nahor and his father and all belonging to them dwelt in Haran, for they did not come with Abraham to the land of Canaan. And children were born to Nahor, which Milcah, the daughter of Haran, and sister to Sarah, Abraham's woman, bore to him. And these are the names of those that were born to him: Utz, Buz, Kemuel, Kasid, Chazo, Pildash, Yaldath, Bethuel, being 8 sons. These are the children of Milcah, which she bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And Nahor had a concubine, and her name was Reumah. And she also bore to Nahor Zavach, Gasach, Teshash, Masha, being 4 sons. And the children that were born to Nahor were 12 sons besides his daughters, and they also had children born to them in Haran. And the children of Utz, the firstborn of Nahor, were Avai. Let me look at that again. Sorry. Abimelech. Right?
Where you at? 20?
Yeah, Abai,
Oh, I'm with you.
Abai, Shirprath, Gaden, Malus, and Deborah, their sister. And the sons of Buz were Bershael, Namath, Sheva, and Madanu. And the sons of Cumul were Aram and Rekov.
So can I stop?
Yeah.
Verse 21, Sheba, very important. We've heard of the Queen of Sheba. So this is the progenitors of the tribes and of a Cushite district. So when the Queen of Sheba showed up to Solomon in all his wisdom, she was Ethiopian Cushite.
Hamite, right?
Hamite coming to meet Solomon at that point in time. So that's Sheba.
Okay, so that is the Sheba they talk about, Queen
That's
Sheba.
Here you go.
Wow. So we're talking about Hamites here.
Yes, Sheba is a Hamite.
All of these would be Hamites.
So anybody born outside of not Abraham's lineage, then they're going to be Hamite or Japheth. They're talking about these as not his seed. So you got.
But all of them, Buz, Michelle, Namath, Sheva, and Maduna would all be Hamites.
Her were the sons of
Abraham's brother.
Abraham's brother with Abraham's brother, who same daddy, obviously.
Yep, same daddy, different moms.
Different mom than who Abraham was born by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, Abraham had who was Abraham born by? I forgot the woman's name.
So Abraham had Isaac, but Isaac. Yeah. So Abraham had Isaac. Now, besides Isaac, he had Ishmael.
He had Ishmael.
Yep. Okay.
And he had Ishmael with concubine Hagar.
Okay. All right. So, I'm with you. And then but these Canaanite people and Ethiopian people that are coming into play.
Them is Hamites.
They are Hamites, 1,000%. Now, I'm just lost on how they were Hamites, though, because of who? Nahor? Or no? How did
they have to? Firstborn of Nahor.
Okay, yeah. Nahor had a concubine, and her name was Rumah.
Yeah.
And this concubine, 9 out of 10 times, was not an Israelite.
She was Hamite.
She was an Aramite woman, so she was an Amorite. Okay, there it is. I just had to put it all together. But still the father's seed, but he was going into Amorite women, so they would not have been considered under the
Israelites. They would have been Hamites.
Yeah, they would have been what you can call it, people. Yeah. Half-breds. Okay. Okay, I'm with you. All right, good stuff.
Okay, what verse were we?
I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay. What verse were we?
I believe we're at 18.
22.
Oh, 22.
And the sons of Cumul were Aram and Rekov. And the sons of Kesed were Anamelech, Bishai, Benan, Yiphi. And the sons of Shazo were Pildash, Michai, and Ophri. And the sons of Pildash were Aram, Shemam, Mered, Melech. Sons of let me see that. Jidalaph were Mushan, Kushan, and Mutsai. So that Kushan, is that Ethiopia?
I think that always shows up with a K.
Okay.
So I don't know who that is, but I think the Kush we see generally is with a K.
Okay.
And not that doesn't mean anything, because they do have misspellings and misprints in these texts.
And the children of Bethel were Shecur, Lavan, and their sister Rebekah. These are the families of the children of Nahor that were born to them in Haran. And Aram, the son of Cumul, and Rekov, his brother, went away from Haran, and they found a valley in the land by the river Brath. And they built a city there, and they called the name of the city after the name of Pethor, the son of Aram. That is Aram, Aramatarium, Mesopotamia until this day. Wow. And the children of Kesed also went to dwell where they could find a place, and they went and they found a valley opposite to the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they there built themselves a city, and they called the name of the city Kesed, after the name of their father. That is the land of Chaldea unto this day. And the Chaldeans dwelt in that land, and they were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly. And Terah, father of Nahor and Abraham, went and took another woman in his old age, and her name was Pelilah. And she conceived and bore him a son, and he called his name to Zobah. And Terah lived 25 years after he begot Zobah. And Terah died in that year. That is in the 35th year of the birth of Isaac, son of Abraham.
So help me with this then. So Abraham's daddy
Was Terah.
What is he though? He's a Canaanite though, or what is he? Where does he fall in lineage? I guess that's where I'm lost. What is he? He's not a Hebrew though, is he? Or is he a Hebrew?
He is a Hebrew. Yeah,
He is a Hebrew.
Son of Noah, correct?
Yeah, he's in Noah's lineage.
Yeah.
He comes down Shem's line.
So, but he didn't stay with inside of
No.
Hebrew women.
No, he
He was
pagan. He was pagan.
Okay, now you brought me back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Abraham went in and destroyed all that stuff.
Yeah, he was pagan. He was a pagan
Got
daddy.
you. So that's why he's not. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now it makes all the sense now. Okay, I'm with you. Thank you.
Okay. And Zobah, the son of Terah, lived 30 years, and he begot around. Did I skip something?
I know it.
Wait a minute. And the days of Terah were 200. Yeah, and 5 years, and he was buried in Haran. And Zobah, the son of Terah, lived 30 years, and he begot Aram, Achilles, and Marek. And Aram, son of Zobah, son of Terah, had 3 women, and he begat 12 sons and 3 daughters. And Yahuah gave to Aram, the son of Zobah, riches and possessions and abundance of cattle and flocks and herds, and the man increased greatly. And Aram, the son of Zobah, and his brother and all his household journeyed from Haran, and they went to dwell where they should find a place, for their property was too great to remain in Haran, for they could not stop in Haran together with their brethren, the children of Nahor. And Aram, the son of Zobah, went with his brethren, and they found a valley at a distance toward the eastern country, and they dwelt there. And they also built a city there, and they called the name thereof Aram, after the name of their eldest brother, that is Aram Zobah, to this day. Well, no, that's not right? Aram Zobah. And Isaac, the son of Abraham, was growing up in those days, and Abraham, his father, taught him the way of Yahuah, to know Yahuah, and Yahuah was with him. Mm-hmm. And when Isaac was 37 years old, Ishmael, his brother, was going about with him in the tent. And Ishmael boasted of himself to Isaac, saying, I was 13 years old when Yahuah spoke to my father to circumcise us. And I did according to the word of Yahuah, which he spoke to my father. And I gave my soul unto Yahuah, and I did not transgress his word, which he commanded my father. And Isaac answered Ishmael, saying, why do you boast to me about this? About a little bit of your flesh which you did take from your body, concerning which Yahuah commanded you. As Yahuah lives, the Elohim of my father Abraham, if Yahuah should say unto my father, take now your son Isaac, and bring him up an offering before me, I would not refrain, but I would joyfully accede to it. And Yahuah heard the word that Isaac spoke to Ishmael, and it seemed good in the sight of Yahuah, and he thought to try Abraham in this matter.
So stop right there. So this is how this all starts with the sacrifice
of Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac. That's where it starts.
Yeah, and Yahuah thought, hey, try Abraham. Let me see where Abraham's part is at.
So, in other words, since we now know that that Genesis comes later than Job, then this is essentially him doing the same thing he did with Job.
You mean removing
removing in the sense of removing the hedge.
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Okay. Okay. And am I reading now? Mm-hmm. Okay. And the day arrived when the sons of Elohim came and placed themselves before Yahuah, and Satan also came with the sons of Elohim before Yahuah.
Uh-huh.
And Yahuah said unto Satan, whence come you?
Hold on, let me stop.
Yeah.
So, when the sons of God came and placed themselves before Yahuah, and Satan also came with the sons of God.
Just
before
see,
Yahuah.
sneaky.
Yeah, so good angels, bad angels.
Sneaky.
Good spirits, bad spirits.
Okay.
Forces of good, forces of darkness. But all of these lowercase Elohims, which they are, they're gods.
Sure,
But they're not the capital G. They still come in a council to submit to the Most High.
Good. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, go for it.
And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Whence come you? And Satan answered Yahuwah and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Where else did he say that? Can I stop real quick?
Job.
Just Job?
Job.
I thought he said it with Jesus too.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
You could be right.
Okay.
You could be right.
I could be
No,
wrong.
for a
That
fact.
might be Jimmy
No,
Swagger.
for a fact, for sure with Job.
Okay. And Yahuwah, that's what I thought of. Okay. And Yahuwah said to Satan, What is your word to me concerning all the children of the earth? And Satan answered Yahuwah and said, I have seen all the children of the earth who serve you and remember you when they require anything from you. Same thing as Job. And when you give them the thing which they require from you, they sit at their ease and forsake you, and they remember you no more.
So he's an accuser. That's what he does. He's
Accuser.
constantly sitting up there accusing.
No.
He don't study. He don't fast. He don't fellowship.
Right.
He don't pray. And he's always asking for this.
Yeah.
Or she's or she's this, she's that. But you always have your hand stuck out. Why you keep doing this, God? Accuser.
Sure.
Have you seen Abraham, the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and he served you and erected altars to you whenever he came, and he brought up offerings upon them, and he proclaimed your name continually to all the children of the earth. And now that his son Isaac is born to him, he has forsaken you. He has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of the land, and Yahuwah he has forgotten. For amidst all that he has done, he brought you no offering, neither sending smoke, offering no peace offering, neither ox, lamb, nor goat of all that he killed on the day that his son was weaned. Even from the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, he built no altar before you, nor brought any offering to you. For he saw that you did give what he requested before you, and therefore forsook you. And Yahuwah said to Satan, Have you thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon the earth, a perfect and an upright man before me, one that fears Elohim and avoids evil. As I live, where I say unto him, Bring up Isaac your son before me. He would not withhold him from me. Much more if I told him to bring up an ascending smoke offering before me from his flock or herds. And Satan answered Yahuwah and said, Speak then now unto Abraham as you have said, and you will see whether he will not this day transgress and cast aside your words.
So just think that's what literally Satan is up there telling God, throw this dart at her. Let me throw this dart. Let me hit her with this dart. Let me do this. Let me do that. And I bet you know, because he's the accuser. That's what he's doing. And so when you see trials and you have tests and you have temptation and you have those moments where you can do something that would not give God glory or give God glory, just know that the enemy is behind, up there, lurking, trying to get you to fall off.
He's lurking. He knows, so he's gonna come around. Yeah.
But check this out.
Lord.
Let's have a karmic moment here for a moment, if we will.
Yes, sir.
So Isaac was sitting there running his mouth off to Ishmael, talking about what he would do if Yahuwah said, Bring your son. Do this. He said, I wouldn't hesitate to do it. Guess what? He is now becoming the son himself to be sacrificed. Could you imagine the
Why was I so cocky?
like the shit moment that he is in at this particular moment? You know, when he's being brought to the altar.
Could you imagine
oh
putting
my
yourself
goodness.
and your own kids there, like
I-
your if it was your child, that you heard your two kids back and forth bickering about who's better. Who I would go and I would die. Then now here all of a sudden, you gotta put your son on the altar.
I know. I mean, and he was.
Could you have done that? Could you sacrifice your kid?
To this day, like how I feel right now, I'd have to say the answer to that would be no. I'm not even gonna lie and say I don't know. I would say no. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't.
Even on Vinny's worst day.
Even on Vinny's worst day, I don't think I would have the faith.
I'd pick out whichever
I would have to question
one.
what's being said to me.
I'd say, Lord, which one do you want? And I'd pick them out, and I would sacrifice them.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, it seems that
No, you
easy.
wouldn't.
I would be stuck questioning, like, why? Who are you asking me to do this? But I mean, I guess maybe if something, he made me know for sure that there is no doubt, like there's no mind tricks happening here. I am Yahuah. I want your son. Go get him. I don't know how I would respond. Okay, now I'm going to say that. I just don't know. I don't know. Wow, that's powerful. And Abraham was going to do it. Just saying, that's powerful.
That is
Sure,
powerful,
I agree.
though.
I agree.
Most people would say no.
Would Isaac really have done it if the tables were turned? If given the opportunity, would he have done it? Would he really have kept true to his word?
Let's see. 23. Jasher.
Well, wait a minute, but Isaac didn't have that same opportunity.
That's correct. Not that I know of. I only believe that was dished out to Abraham.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, he just said he just let something fly. I can't let slide. He said, would Isaac have done it? Isaac didn't have the same
Oh,
opportunity as Abraham.
I thought when he meant that would Isaac allow himself to be sacrificed.
Oh.
Sacrifice his son.
Yeah, like, it was Isaac was then just a run his mouth moment, and now he ran his mouth, and now he's the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
Oh.
Would if Yahuah came to Isaac, since he ran his mouth and said, I want you to go get your son now. Since you ran your mouth, go get your son. Would Isaac really have done it?
Also, will Isaac do the same thing if he was in the same situation?
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't know,
Okay.
but
Right.
we know Abraham. Yeah, we know
Okay.
he was believing.
Right.
All right.
Jasher 23. At that time, the word of Yahuah came to Abraham, and he said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Here I am. Verse 2. And he said to him, Take now your son, your Yashi, which is your beloved son, Yaqid, properly, soul by implication, beloved, also lonely, the life, whom you love, even Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, seen as Yahuah, the hill, and offer him there for an ascending smoke offering upon one of the mountains, which shall be shown to you, for there you will see a cloud and a glory of Yahuah. Verse 3. And Abraham said within himself, How shall I separate my son Isaac from Sarah his mother, in order to bring him up there for an ascending smoke offering before Yahuah? And so all Abraham wanted to know is, how is this going to work with my wife? Right? Like, how am I going to just take him, go kill him, and my wife be okay with this? How am I going to work this? And Abraham came into the tent, and he sat before Sarah his woman, and he spoke these words to her. My son Isaac is growing up, and he has not for some time studied the service of his most high God. Now tomorrow I will bring him to Shem, remember Noah's son, and Eber his son, the son of Peleg. And there he will learn the ways of Yahuah, for they will teach him how to know Yahuah, as well as to know that when he prays continually before Yahuah, he will answer him. Therefore, there he will know the way of serving Yahuah, his Elohim. And then, so that's very important there. Very, very important there. And Sarah said, You have spoken well. Go, my Lord, and do unto him as you have said. But remove him not at a great distance from me, neither let him remain there too long, for my soul is bound with his soul. Now you talking about a mother's love. And, you know, the reality is a lot of mothers are bound just like that to their children, especially their boys. Verse 7. And Abraham said unto Sarah, my daughter, let us pray to Yahuah, our Elohim, that he may do good with us. And Sarah took her son Isaac, and he abode all that night with her. And she kissed him and embraced him and gave him instructions to the morning. So she felt something was fishy, but she had to go along with it. And she said to him, O my son, how can my soul separate itself from you? And she still kissed him and embraced him, and she gave Abraham instructions concerning him. And Sarah said to Abraham, O Lord, I pray you take heed of your son and place your eyes over him, for I have no other son nor daughter but him. Oh, forsake him not. If he be hungry, give him bread. Sound like your mom, Michelle, when Malik was at the CYC. I think he had went to go play basketball. It's like, what is he gonna eat?
Yeah.
You know, but that's just that mother's love, though, and I do get that. You know, but forsake him. If he be hungry, give him bread, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Do not let him go out on foot, neither let him sit in the sun, neither let him go by himself in the road, neither force him from whatsoever he may desire, but do unto him as he may say to you. And Sarah wept bitterly the whole night on account of Isaac, and she gave him instructions to the morning. And in the morning, Sarah selected a very fine and beautiful garment from those garments which she had in the house that Abimelech had given to her, which was the father of the king, the name of 2 Philistine kings.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to bring the point to the matter. I'm thinking that maybe, you know,
Can you
Isaac,
speak up? And where you at?
that Isaac might have been a white guy because she told me not to let him sit in the sun too long. Just saying.
That is a very good point, though.
No matter what color you are, if you sit in the sun too long, it's
I
still
know.
not good.
It was just a fun moment. I didn't really want to throw it out there on video like that, but it was one moment, just a fun moment between us. Okay, you know me, I'm a clown.
All right, where we at?
Just don't have the right clothes. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I completely brought in
We were at 15.
this ridiculous spirit.
15.
Thank you. All right. And she dressed Isaac, her son, therewith, and she put a turban upon his head, and she enclosed a precious stone in the top of the turban, and she gave them provision for the road, and they went forth, and Isaac went with his father Abram, and some of their servants, and accompanied them to see them off the road.
So wait a minute. She dressed them up to go to die, essentially, but she didn't know that this was going on.
No.
What? So why? What was the excuse? I don't understand what she thought. Why was she dressing them? Where was he going?
You walked out, so
Yeah, he's going to learn the ways of Yahuah with Shem and Eber.
But why would he be dressed up for that?
Well, she did all of this. This is just showing what moms sometimes
Right.
go overboard. Just let the boy go.
Right.
But in the reality, though, her husband was lying about the person.
Right.
She was about to go murder him. She was going through like some anguish, you know, because
Okay.
her soul was connected to him.
Okay.
If I was Abraham sitting back watching my wife do all of this stuff to my son,
You feel
I
so
was like,
guilty.
goodness gracious. So yeah,
Yeah. So, all right. And then so Sarah heard the words of her son, Isaac.
16.
And Sarah went out with them, and she accompanied them upon the road to see them off. And they said to her, return to the tent. 17, Jasher 23:17. And when Sarah heard the words of her son Isaac, she wept bitterly. And Abraham, her man, wept with her. And their son wept with them a great weeping. And all those who went with them wept greatly. Whole bunch of crybabies. And Sarah caught hold of her son Isaac, and she held him in her arms, and she embraced him and continued to weep with him. And Sarah said, who knows if after this day I shall ever see you again. See, she was feeling something funny about all of that. That's why she dressed him up and all of that stuff. And then they still wept together. Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac, and all those that accompanied them on the road wept with them. And Sarah afterward turned away from her son, weeping bitterly. And all her men servants and maid servants returned with her to the tent. And Abraham went with Isaac his son to bring him up as an offering before Yahuah, as he commanded him. And Abraham took 2 of his young men with him, Ishmael, and obviously Ishmael, Elohim will hear the name of Abraham's oldest son, and Hagar, which is Ishmael's mother, and Eleazar, which is one of the servants that came from Pharaoh. And they went together with them, and while they were walking in the road, the young men spoke these words to them. And Ishmael said to Eleazar, now my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for an ascending smoke offering to Yahuah, as he commanded him. So Ishmael told Eleazar the plan. Now when he returns, he will give unto me all that he possesses to inherit after him, for I'm his firstborn. So Ishmael was happy that Isaac was about to get murdered or sacrificed, shall I say, because he would get the possessions in the end. Like, forget it's your brother, die. Let me get what my daddy got because he's rich. Same thing today. Now, 24, and Eleazar answered Ishmael and said, surely Abraham did cast you away with your mother and swear that you should not inherit anything of all he possesses. And to whom will he give all that he has with all his treasures, but unto me, his servant, who has been faithful in his house, who has served him night and day, and has done all that he has desired me. To me he will bequeath at his death all that he possesses. But remember, Eleazar was an Egyptian. Not going to happen. And while Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man, humble, and of a contrite ruach, which is spirit. And he approached Abraham and said to him, are you silly or brutish that you go to do this thing this day to your beloved son? 26, Jasher 23:26. For the Most High God gave you a son in your latter days, in your old age. And will you go and slaughter him this day because he committed no violence? And will you cause the soul of your beloved to perish from the earth? So I think it's important to see how God had told you to do something. The enemy's still going to sneak up and say something to make you, is that what God really, is this right? Is that me? Was that really God?
To trick you.
Yeah, but I mean, you ain't never questioned. God told you something. You know it was God. You would go to the mountaintop with it, and then you start questioning, like, was that God? You know? Was that God really? And so that is what Satan does. So he plays both sides of the fence. He's up here telling God, hey, do this. And then he's down here like, you know, sneaky.
So now why wouldn't Abraham just tell Sarah the truth? Because he knows she would have never allowed it, right?
You see what she went through when he lied? Well, he ain't really lie. He just didn't tell the whole truth. They was going to get to know Yahuah. He was going to get to know him for real. I'm sending you straight to it. He was literally about to know the ways of Yahuah. But Sarah ain't never going to be like, oh, yeah, go sacrifice my son. I don't really care.
At an old age. She had prayed.
Come on. Yes.
For many, many, many years and didn't even think she was going to have a child. And then she does, and now you want to take him somewhere. So no wonder she's like, my only child.
Yeah. 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 You know, mother's love. You know how it is. You're the only mother in the room.
You better bring him back in one piece.
Yeah, nothing better not happen to him. You know?
Secretly,
you don't come back, you don't come back.
He wasn't coming back though. He wasn't coming back.
Because if you told me I'm about to go sacrifice,
but she felt that though. That's why she kept crying on it.
Right.
She felt that.
Yeah, he wasn't coming back.
How can she argue against Abraham, this man of God, taking his son to learn the ways of Yahuah? She would be kind of foolish at that point because she knows her husband by now going to choose God. You know, so shut up, get in line. God told me. I don't care if you didn't hear it. I'm going, so here, boom, it is what it is. She can't stand in the way of him and Yahuah. She called Abraham her Lord.
Right.
You know?
Right.
She respected what he said. you know, and that was that. But what's she gonna do? She cry about it? Yeah, get it out the way. You want to cry all night, you know, and you know, Mom, be careful, honey. You know, make sure you don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah.
Do this. Don't forget this. But that's a
Putting
loving mother.
wrapping him in clothes, swaddling clothes.
But that's okay though. So that's mothers though. That's loving mothers, and she loved her son. So when it's a mother that just loves their kid like that, I mean, it is what it is. You can't stop that. Now it's different when you got a mother that's overprotected but don't give a damn. You know, that's different. But when a mother truly loves her kid and she gets overprotected, that is.
But don't you think it weighed on him too? That like he probably really didn't
cried.
want to.
He
Yeah,
cried.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
cried
Like
too.
he probably didn't really want to do it.
Nobody
but-
wants to kill their kid.
No,
Yeah.
but he knew. I better, you know.
Yeah, he's just being obedient.
Overprotected mothers. It's like in the red corner we have Satan, in the blue corner we have overprotective mother. I might go for overprotective mother.
Because I don't think anybody in the room, you tell your wife you're gonna go sacrifice your kid, they're all gonna be like, you must be out of your mind.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, yeah, like you said though, it's
the way of the Lord.
You know God told you, that's one thing, but if you're unsure.
It's the way of the Lord. You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
If he had to lie,
Yeah.
because Abraham would not have lived to see another moment if he would have spoke those words to Sarah. She would have took his life.
And to be totally honest, think about if he wouldn't have never done it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got
We wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, God's the enemy's accusation would have been right, but after reading through history, God would have raised up somebody else. We just wouldn't be reading about Abraham.
Yeah.
It would have been Abraham, the father, because it wouldn't have stopped God's plan of salvation. It would have just been another name besides Abraham we'd be reading about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it would have been Isaac. Maybe it would have been Ishmael. Maybe it would have been somebody else that would have been in that spot.
But because Abraham did this, that's why we're reading about him now.
Yes, Abraham was the father of faith.
And that's some good faith because how many people?
Yeah, now you do have to keep in mind though, at that time, child sacrifice was something that was common. Just the Most High had not requested that I know of any of his believers to sacrifice any of their children.
No.
And so, but other gods, lowercase
Molech.
gods, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Come sacrifice your kid. You know, burn them up, put them in the fire. So when Elohim came to Moses, I mean not Moses, Abraham, and then Abraham's daddy had 365 gods plus some more, right? So he might have just figured like, okay, well, I know people sacrifice kids. I guess the Most High God is gonna ask me to sacrifice mine now. You know, good. It's a sacrifice. That's sacrifice. Think of sacrifice means give up something. What is a sacrifice? It means that it's not a sacrifice if you're not
Don't hurt.
giving up something.
If it don't feel, you gotta
It should
feel
be-
it.
It's just something you should feel. That's what sacrifice means. You know?
That's a big one, man.
That's a huge sacrifice.
Man,
Your
it's already
child,
painted though.
you know, he put him to the test.
I got a feeling that some of us in this room, it wouldn't be too hard for though,
What?
if we had to sacrifice our kid.
Oh, I know when you
All right. I'm sorry, we got lost in the verses. 27, thank you. Jasher 23:27. Do you not know and understand that this thing that cannot be from Yahuah? For Yahuah cannot do unto man such evil upon the earth to say to him, go slaughter your child. And Abraham heard this and knew that it was the word of Satan who endeavored to draw him aside from the way of Yahuah. But Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Satan, and Abraham rebuked him so that he went away. Get out of here, Satan. And Satan returned and came to Isaac. And he appeared unto Isaac in the figure of a young man, comely and well favored. And he approached Isaac and said unto him, do you not know and understand that your old silly father brings you to slaughter this day for naught? Now therefore, my son, do not listen nor attend to him, for he is a silly old man, and let not your precious soul and beautiful figure be lost from the earth. So that just shows you, Satan is in God's face. He's over here in Abraham's ear. He's over here with Isaac. He will try everything. That's why you know that Satan will try to come through any method to get to you.
And he's coming in different figures.
Different forms.
How do you come to Isaac as a young man, but you come to Abraham as an old man?
Yeah.
Because Abraham was old at the time. Is that why?
He's a to and froer.
Yeah, he's the spirit. I'm gonna match up with you. You know, like when we in sales, they say match personalities, match pitches. So he probably he'll probably receive better from an old man, and just like old men probably do.
Yeah.
Young whippersnapper, what you know.
Yeah.
And then young men, oh, you old, what you know. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And
33.
And Abraham answered his son Isaac and said to him, take heed of him, and do not listen to his words, nor attend to him, for he is Satan endeavoring to draw us aside in this day from the commands of Elohim. So Abraham, like a good spiritual father should be, told his son to don't listen to the plots of Satan. 34. And Abraham still rebuked Satan, and Satan went from them. And seeing he could not prevail over them, he hid himself from them. He went and passed before the road, and he transformed himself to a large brook of water in the road. And Abraham and Isaac and his 2 young men reached that place, and they saw a brook large and powerful as mighty waters. As they entered the brook and passed through it, and the waters at first reached their legs, and they went deeper in the brook, and the waters reached up to their necks. And they were all terrified on the account of the water. And while they were going over the brook, Abraham recognized that place, and he knew there was no water there before. And Abraham said to his son Isaac, I know this place in which there was no brook nor water. Now therefore it is this Satan who does all this to us, to draw us aside this day from the commands of Elohim. And Abraham rebuked him and said unto him, Yahuah rebuke you, O Satan, be gone from us, for we go by the commands of Elohim. So that worked for him. And Satan was terrified at the voice of Abraham. Dang, Abraham must have. Okay, that's powerful. Mm-hmm. And he went away from them, and the place again became dry land as it was before. That's power. Mm-hmm. And Abraham went with Isaac toward the place that Elohim had told him. And on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place at the distance which Elohim had told him of. And a pillar of fire appeared to him that reached from earth to heaven, and a cloud of glory upon the mountain, and the glory of Yahuah was seen in the cloud. And Abraham said to Isaac, my son, do you see in that mountain which we perceive at a distance, that which I see upon it? And Isaac answered and said to his father, I see, and lo, a pillar of fire and a cloud, and the glory of Yahuah is seen upon the cloud. And Abraham knew that his son Isaac was accepted before Yahuah for an ascending smoke offering. And Abraham said to Eleazar and unto Ishmael his son, do you also see that which we see upon the mountain which is at a distance? And they answered and said, we see nothing more than like the other mountains of the earth. And Abraham knew that they were not accepted before Yahuah to go with them. And Abraham said to them, abide ye here with the ass, while I and Isaac my son will go to yonder mount and worship there before Yahuah, and then return. And Eleazar, you got something?
No,
Super
just
power.
wow, that's powerful.
They did not have enough faith in them. God
Just
just
wasn't
did
for
not show them.
Wasn't for them.
Okay.
So that kind of goes back. Remember, you were asking me just the other day about Ishmael in the promise, and I can't remember exactly what we talked about, but the fact that he was not purebred, he was half Hagar, that promise was not coming down through that lineage. He had to be pure blood.
Bill. Exactly what we just said today. The message wasn't for them.
Sure, it was not for them.
And another thing is just how powerful light is over darkness. That's all Abraham had to do was rebuke Satan, and he fled.
Yeah, but more than once.
Kept trying.
But I'm correct that Ishmael did not live out his life in service to Yahuah, correct?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know or don't remember. Do you know?
No.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I thought the Ishmaelites,
so
but I thought the Ishmaelites turned into being what is now today Muslims.
Yeah.
So there's no way they could have.
Yeah.
So because I know that he was also given a promise, and his seed would be multiplied, but from what we're seeing, that his seed would be blessed and so on and so forth. That was said to Ishmael as well.
He had 12 sons.
Sure, but
Great nation was all they were given.
Didn't he, living as a live man, he ruined that covenant? So there was nothing to even be passed down because he lived outside of that. Unlike Abraham, unlike Isaac, unlike Jacob, who remained in that covenant.
No, I believe that Ishmael was offered. God said He would make them a great nation. That was the only thing that they were given.
Yeah, and then look at his heart. I want my brother to die so I can have my father's riches.
Yes.
And let's not forget, he tried to. Let's not forget. As a teenager, he tried to kill him.
Yeah, tried to kill him. He didn't care about him dying. He wanted the riches anyway. You know, my dad's rich. You know, Sarah don't like me and my mom anyway. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So he was only going to be blessed only because Abraham was his father. No other reason.
No other reason.
Yeah.
But, and then he was going to receive blessings for no other reason that his seed is of the seed of Abraham and so on. But we can see he was not such a great guy.
Yeah, Hagar was a concubine, man. You know?
Right.
All right, yeah. Well, then that answers a lot of questions.
Right.
You know, he was probably just his concubine. Probably nobody else is blasting it, but, you're a mistress. You're not chosen.
Right.
Yeah, that's a gavel crack right there, man. That's all.
Cool, where we at? 48? Okay. And Eleazar and Ishmael remained in that place as Abraham commanded in 49. And Abraham took wood for an ascended smoke offering and placed it on Isaac. He made him carry it. And he took the fire and the knife, and they both went to that place. And when they were going along, Isaac said to his father, "Behold, I see here the fire and wood. Where then is the lamb? That is to be the ascending smoke offering before Yahuah." And Abraham answered his son, saying, "Yahuah has made a choice of you, my son, to be a perfect ascending smoke offering instead of a lamb." And Isaac said to his father, "I will do all that Yahuah spoke to you with joy and cheerfulness of heart." So, see the difference
Ready to die.
of heart? So Isaac wasn't just talking crap when he said, "I would die for the Lord." He wasn't talking crap. He's literally cheerful right now. He can be that form of sacrifice. Look at his heart, man.
Wow, that's powerful.
Ready to die.
Yeah. So look at his heart, man.
He was talking crap.
He was, but he meant it. He was
He
serious.
backed it up, though. He's backing it up right here.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for himself, so to speak.
Yeah. 53.
What's weird is I remember from actually reading this in Genesis, it's different a little bit right there because I'm pretty sure right there Abraham tells him God's going to give us the land once we get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It said, they never said this.
Right.
Here. Yeah. 53. And that's what he might have been telling him along the way because they had a long walk. I think it was like a 3-day journey from where they stopped at that point. 53. And Abraham said unto Isaac, his son, is there in your heart any thought or counsel concerning this which is not proper? Tell me, son. I pray you, O son, conceal it not from me. So just tell me if you really, truly don't feel right. Not that I ain't going to murder you anyway or sacrifice me. Just at least be open and honest and just tell me. Because when you're happy and cheerful at heart, I'm about to murder you. And Isaac answered his father and said unto him, "O my father, as Yahuah lives and as your soul lives, there is nothing in my heart that calls me to deviate either to the right or to the left from the word that he has spoken to you. Neither limb